Virgo, this is your December 2021 soul story. If you have a sun rising or your moon is in the sign, this is a general reading for the month ahead. My key message for you is that there is set to be a wave of change coming through, here to activate a power within you that you didn't know was possible. This is Romy. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we're going to give you some astrological dates and some key intuitive messages to help you navigate through the next few weeks. We are opening up December with the energy of the Eight of Pentacles, and I have a sense, Virgo, that you're really coming into this month with this what more can I do? I feel like I have given it my all. I feel like I have done my best. I feel like I have shown up in all the ways that were asked of me, and yet there's still this sense of disconnection or resistance or feeling apart from someone or something, and I think that's really kind of spiraling in your mind and your thought forms. Now, this is a month that's very electrically charged. We're in Sagittarius season, that mutable energy, which, by the way, you do understand, being a fellow mutable sign, so the ability to shapeshift and kind of cope with some of that spiraling, spinning energy that Sagittarius brings is something that you can work to process, but if you're not careful, it can really derail you and feel like it's kind of a little bit overwhelming. Now, the Eight of Pentacles suggests that there's an aspect of mastery that has come in. You might not be aware of it, though. I feel like there's almost like this part of you that's looking in a different direction and kind of feeling frustrated or feeling or sensing the lack or the kind of impending energy of something making its way towards you, and just sort of having that sense of what more can I do? And yet, if we turn back into the quiet stillness, into investing and directing our energy towards where we feel the light, where we feel the relief, where we feel that things are moving, that's going to be really helpful in terms of you in one aspect, actually being really honest and truthful for for yourself, in terms of, have I done everything that I feel I could have done, and how does that sit within me? Because it doesn't really matter what anyone else has to say, or what they feel, or what they believe, or what they are projecting or perceiving of you. It's really about what you yourself can come into a sense of alignment with. Now, I feel that there is a tremendous amount of relief that can be found for you, and an awful lot of healing that's coming into your pathway in December, Virgo. And really that's going to be found in the softness. But First of all, we need to feel into what the true emotion is, so that there's no disowning or avoidance of that. So if it is you feeling a sense of rage, if it is you feeling a sense of impatience, if it is a complete and utter exhaustion, whatever it is, you have to call it out. You have to name it. You have to allow it to kind of move through you. Because if you try to push it down and, try to find that movement towards the emotional feeling that you really want to kind of invite in for this month, which is much more balanced and on an optimistic, hopeful, expectant energy, and yet the powerful undercurrent is demanding that you acknowledge and look at something else, then in a way you're kind of you're almost spiritually bypassing your own emotional guidance system. And so it's really important at the beginning of the month, especially as Neptune shifts direct in the sign of Pisces on the 1st of the month, and we make our way on the 4th towards that super powerful, potent solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius coming in at 12 degrees. We're closing out the storyline between the Gemini and the Sagittarius eclipse. So all those lessons learned in the last 18 months, are really being brought to kind of a climatic point of finality. And there's something, the King of Cups coming in here, water energy, from an emotive perspective that we really need you to understand. Again, the aspect of self-mastery in your own spiritual journey is really profound here. King of Cups, of course, could suggest a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio energy. Is also someone who is significant in terms of some of the proceedings and what's unfolding for you through the course of December. Really acknowledging and coming to terms with the fact that grief has to sit side by side with acceptance. And so if we are asking you to accept something this month, which in many ways, as you come to the end of 2021 and you really start to reflect on where you are versus where you thought you would be, what you want versus what you received, and you're really kind of coming into a place of understanding and a depth of awareness that's going to help you to move forward and help you to make the release that is necessary, so you don't kind of hold yourself back. There is that acknowledgement that there will be a grieving process as part of that. It's inevitable. And when we can allow that to happen, then more easily we can come into a sense of balance. And that's the higher wisdom and the spiritual learning and the art of mastery that's really coming in for me when I look at these energy guides coming through for you. Now, the solar eclipse energy, of course, continues to bring revelations to the surface, but with it being this new moon, it's also about breaking something open so that we can have new pathways forming. Now, your Queen of Swords is coming in with air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarian perhaps, but there's also this sense of kind of clear focus and real discernment that has come about because of what you've experienced. You know, you've learned something the hard way. I really feel that. And what we want you to understand is that in a month where there is so much happening, there are these amazingly powerful portals of possibility opening up against a backdrop that feels very pressurizing and quite overwhelming. Your Queen of Swords can cut right through that to get to the true heart of the matter. Now, you know, at times we would say that the Queen of Swords is emotionally detached. I don't think that you're emotionally detached. I think you're in a place of allowing all of that emotion to surface, but you're not letting it completely consume you. You're not absorbing it to the point that it pulls you down and holds you back. You're using it as a really powerful navigatory system to know what the next right step is for you. You are worthy of peace. And if you are worthy of finding peace within yourself and within your journey and where you are at the moment, then you have to be really clear in terms of the boundaries or what it's going to take to afford that peace for you, okay? And it's in that place that I feel you also discover what the answer is and what it is that you need to know, because the Queen of Swords is going to deliver you that truth, however harsh it is or however direct it is, however blunt it feels. And of course, Sagittarius energy also delivers that message for us, but it always comes with an emphasis of higher learning, of establishing a greater understanding and knowledge that can really equip us. So in feeling these raw emotions, what we're then able to do is find a way to actually soften our expectations, soften our gaze, soften the tenseness and the stress that we feel in our physical body. And then that wave of change that's coming through, can carry you more easily without you kind of fighting it. So you've got karma, which is the energy of judgment. So this is a major arcana coming through. It's so powerful because it does really indicate that moment of rebirth. Now, we also have in this particular depiction the solar eclipse coming through. So very powerful in terms of what's happening as a result of that solar eclipse in Sagittarius on the 4th of the month. It will reverberate out in the coming weeks for you. It may well lead you to make a very significant and profound decision for yourself about your life or about finding the right way forward. Now, for some of you, because this new moon is about opening up these new pathways, there might be this sense of still feeling resistant because it was not in your intended vision plan for this year. And that's the thing with eclipse energies, they can redirect, they can bring about these detours. And because this wave of change is coming in so powerfully, what you haven't yet come to understand, but you absolutely will by the time you come out of December, is actually the activation. It's acting like a key, if you like, to unlock this deep power within you. And honestly, I feel like for some of you, you're not even going to know where it's come from. It's going to be like this spiritual strength that's going to get you in the right order in terms of where you're supposed to be. Because The sliding door aspect that plays out in December is so strong. There's such a fated quality to how things are being lined up that Spirit needs you to be in the right place to receive that. And so they're going to gift you, they're going to deliver you whatever is required in order for you to rise up and to meet that energy. And that rebirth moment is so profound for you. It's going to feel like such a sense of deep release and relief. Now remember, like we said, grief does come along to sit side by side for the journey. So it's not necessarily an easy journey that unfolds, but it's definitely one where you can understand this aspect of duality within yourself, within the situation and the experience, and that's truly what's going to set you free. Now we've got the full moon coming in the sign of Gemini on the 19th. It's going to be a powerful time because on the same day we have Venus stationing retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. We also have Chiron, the wounded healer planet, shifting direct in Aries. So it's going to feel quite disruptive. In fact, the whole month, just as you find your equilibrium, it's kind of coming in with another wave and another wave. But the Magician here again shows me that you can work and harness this energy. It's almost like being the surfer, so you can ride the wave rather than feeling like it's pulling you under. The Magician says, remember what you have, Virgo. Remember what you've been through and everything that you've drawn upon in the past to be able to move yourself forward emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. Like you're being so guided, and there's such important downloads of information that show that you can actually manifest something really profound out of the experience that you've got at the moment. And we don't want you to hold back your desire. Now, in Sagittarius energy, you're working with 4th house, so it's very close to home in terms of some of the themes that are going on, but also how you're taking care of yourself on that inner emotional landscape, really understanding your emotions, observing them, witnessing them, and coming into a place of acceptance and coexisting with perhaps the very profound sense of conflicting emotions that might be going on. But then as we enter into Capricorn energy, 5th house, and remember Venus is stationing retrograde in Capricorn. So this is, activating that house for you with romance, with your creative ventures, with your relationship to desire, to children in your life. And so giving birth to things, having new ideas, kind of coming back into harmony and an understanding of kind of what drives you is so important. So not holding back in your desire for more is really what the guiding light is for this month of December. Now your 8 of Swords suggests that there's something that I think you don't want to see, you don't want to acknowledge, or you do feel a little bit overly stressed or overwhelmed by during this month. And it's understand it's a holiday season apart from anything else, never mind what's carrying out energetically in the collective. So all of these things combined, does bring a sense of increasing pressure. And yet you have the Magician and the Queen of Swords coming in to kind of support the energy of this and really show you and give you some clarification and absolute truth so that you know how to extricate and move through it. There are solutions to be found at every single corner here. That's the thing that I really want you to understand. Not only are you worthy of the peace that you seek, you're also being fully equipped in order to be able to find a way through any kind of a situation. Miracles truly surface when you allow yourself to walk away from whatever you feel has had the power to stop you, or has limited you, or has stripped you of a sense of value or confidence, or the opportunity to live your life on your terms and your way. And so as soon as you remove the belief and the limitation that you've decided in your own mind is the thing that's stopping you, then you get to start over. And I want to say to you that this is a month where you get to start over as many times as you need to, every single minute, every single hour, every single day, if that's what it takes to just kind of rebalance your energy out. Now, when the sun goes into Capricorn, we're also going to be welcoming the solstice energy, which is a beautiful time to be able to recalibrate your energy. This sacred portal is bringing in a deep sense of healing energy with the star here. So regardless of what's moving around you, I feel like your ability to kind of actually have that quietness and that peacefulness within you is going to carry you. It's going to remain in a constant place of you being able to tap into, regardless of what you observe going on around you or what you're feeling on an emotional level and what you're processing. Because I see this wave of change almost like a key activating this deeper sense of spiritual strength and empowerment. There's something very healing within that, as you also recognize, I can move myself out of this. I can find a way to kind of come to terms with things that make sense to me. Now, of course, we do have the clash of the Titan energy, the third and final meeting between Saturn and Uranus as they square on the 24th of the month. I want you to think back to 14th of June and also the 17th of February to consider some of the themes that might be brought back to light for you to be able to acknowledge and really come to a place of acceptance as this closes out. Again, the reverberations of this energy are going to be felt powerfully, not just for you personally, but in the collective in the coming weeks to come. Is it an easy transit to deal with? No, it isn't, because it's all about how we deal with the old versus the new. And so the breaking down of so many structures and processes and putting our trust in something that feels radical and untested and we're unsure of as Uranus comes in with these revolutionary changes can feel extraordinarily uncomfortable, especially for Virgo, where you like things to be in order and you want to know where you stand and you have that level of comfort and a sense of stability when that routine that you've put in place for yourself is aligned with the ideas and the expectations. And so when that's kind of derailed or taken out of your control, again, it can kind of put you in a little bit of a spin. But not only are you falling back into everything that you've learned, you're also drawing on new energy that's coming in, the magician says, and also that beautiful celestial guiding, healing, restorative energy of the star. And she suggests to me that there's so much to feel hopeful about. Now let's talk about Venus retrograde. So as she stations retrograde on the 19th, and of course Venus rules our self-esteem, our sense of value, our relationships in love, our relationships to money, and it's a significant transit, you know, and she can kind of place a little bit of a spell on us in relation to this. Now on the upside, she can bring things back from the past and you come to it with a new understanding and a new perspective and find a new way forward, Knight of Pentacles suggests. As long as you take it slow and steady, you can find the opportunity to really deal with some unresolved things, and there is again with that star energy and the magician, the opportunity for some profound healing to surface as a result of that. At the same time, we need to be ensuring that we are not forcing anything. I don't really see that happening, if I'm honest. I don't have an energy from Virgo that says you're going to be forcing a situation, but you may well come up against that with other people as their impatience or their desire to want to fix or to come back in and sort of churn things back up is very powerful through the course of December. Again, this is where the boundaries of Queen of Swords needs to come in, and you really need to get clear about what matters to you and what you need to prioritize and work on. Now, there are new offers, and the offers do feel like they definitely have purpose and they have something that is worth investing into. But I would absolutely remind you that through a retrograde season, the opportunity to have to track back and renew when it goes direct to just make sure it can stand the test of time is going to be so important, especially with the amount of churn and the emotive experiences that will be brought to bear in December. So it's going to have people spinning out, acting very out of character, feeling a little bit desperate and sort of trying to cling on or make things happen very quickly or make a declaration very powerfully. And therefore, you know, you just want to let the dust settle into the new year and really into February before we see Venus kind of coming out of that shadow of the transit to make sure that you're very on board and you can fully accept the terms of what have been, you know, what's been offered for you. But it's also a beautiful healing opportunity for you to have a complete rebirth in terms of the work that you have done on yourself, how that relates to your sense of value, and therefore what you're communicating to the people in your life, because relationships will definitely be under the microscope, you know, throughout the month of December. And finding a loving way, but also a very clear, direct way to actually say what you need, what you feel, what's going on for you, will help you to acknowledge the emotion and then find that relief in the softness because you've been able to release something. That's really important. You need to remember, Virgo, that you are love, you're unconditional love. When you embody this fully, wholly, you can't ever lose love. It's not something that you lose because you are that. And I need you to understand that. So whatever comes and goes through the course of December. Temperance comes in with this reminder that you can always regain your sense of balance and equilibrium. And like we said, you get to start over as many times as you want. Solstice energy is going to be so beautiful for that. The other thing to be mindful of is that Jupiter will finish up in Aquarius and move into Pisces on the 29th of this month. So with Neptune shifting direct in Pisces and then Jupiter into Pisces, the opening and closing out of December is like bookended with these really beautiful spiritual gifts. And for me, there is going to be a powerful signpost for you, something that's coming forth that I feel, is likely to be placed in your pathway from a loved one in spirit, or a powerful guide that's just wanting you to acknowledge and come to terms with your opportunity here, because there's something, it feels like I've got that rainbow blessing coming in, and it's sort of it's being shown to me in harmony with something that you create or that you tap into within yourself, and it just kind of explodes. There's like an explosion of like amazing gifts and blessings that are here, and I think in many ways for you, Virgo, it's probably going to feel a little bit hard won and hard fought, but in many aspects I think that will make it feel more meaningful to you. It will matter more. You will believe in it more because you will know your part to play in it. So fate steps in 100%, but at the same time, it's your willingness and acknowledgement to kind of allow that rebirth and that complete transformational energy to sweep through December and really orientate you in the right direction to be able to kind of open up to things that have been waiting for you, and really, again, when I track back to what we said at the beginning of the reading, when you're saying, what more can I do? I think by the time you get to the end of December, you'll really have reframed that question quite powerfully for yourself, and you'll feel satisfied and gratified that kind of where you stand is in exactly the right place to be able to welcome what happens next. It's going to be a really interesting month of kind of twists and turns, but very, very powerful for you in terms of some of the emotional transformation that's going to take place for it. So let's have a look at these oracle cards and see how they want to join the conversation. Okay, this is the new Kyle Gray deck. You can find all of the decks in the description in the comment section underneath, Virgo, if that's of interest. So you have higher heart activation, dropping shields, divine love, your heart is healed. Beautiful. Well, we talk about this fifth house energy, especially in Capricorn season, that is all about the heart space and the heart chakra. As you move through this portal of possibility, just like we said, there is something about you being able to let that energy in. And we talked about the fact that you are love. When you embody this fully and wholly, you cannot lose here. And there is a beautiful sense of healing coming in with that star energy and judgment. So, this is not a month that is coming in to try to disrupt you and to punish you. This is a month that's coming in to put things in the right order, which will feel uncomfortable but is necessary so that you can look something straight in the eye and really recognize it for what it is, see the truth of it, come into a sense of alignment with the duality or the polarity of a situation. That's what that Gemini full moon is really going to help you to come to terms with. And then, work with that mutability of the Sagittarius energy and really shapeshift to where you need to be. But I love that activation and download is coming in, and that also bodes very well in terms of relationships, both personally and professionally. If you do come up against some bumps in the road or some really challenging discussions or communication that might happen or has already happened, and this could be the season with retrograde to return and come at it with a new level of appreciation and understanding for the self and the relationship itself. Okay, so your astrology card is the sixth house, sustainability. Of course, you are the natural ruler of the sixth house. We have all of the chakras here lit up and aligned beautifully of this wheel of sacred geometry around this as well. So it shows me your ability to be able to come into balance with something is really strong this month. And I feel like it's because you're not avoiding and you're not pushing something away. It feels to me that there's also this aspect of, again, with that Knight of Pentacles coming in, putting the work in, creating some sense of new structure or space in your life for something to be able to properly bed in, so that as you move into the new year, you're really kind of investing in something from a place of certainty and knowing that it will lead somewhere, it will develop into something, it is going to support you, and it is where you're supposed to be, spiritually speaking. This is a really powerful message. You even have 44, the master number, coming in here, so very strong in terms of your purpose, anything that you're doing from a work perspective, also coming in to say that yes, there are blessings and gifts that are on their way to support you and help you to move through any challenging situation at the moment. But it does require a deeper sense of you taking care of your energy, which means that you have to understand what is going on with your energy field. And that's what I think the biggest kind of wake-up call is for you through the course of this month. There's such a sense of a karmic clear-up happening in December. And so even though, you know, there may be people who feel a little bit spellbound or who are acting out or spiraling out, you know, fate is working in the right way to put people where they are needing to be. And your goddess energy is resilience. This is beautiful. Hera here. Obstacles are preparation for greater accomplishments. Beautiful. The water is so still. You know, we have this mountain in the backdrop. You may have already scaled that or feel like you're mid-climb right now. But honestly, Virgo, there's something deeply peaceful but also preparatory about this. You know, that wave of change that's come in that you're moving through at the moment, it is activating like a spiritual key to unearth a spiritual strength that's going to support you in really moving away from this survival mode into an energy that says, what is it going to take for me to be able to thrive in this pathway, to do the things I love, to be with the people who matter the most to me, and to feel like I can stand in my own sovereign, true, embodied empowerment and be okay with that, be at peace with that, whilst not ignoring what's going on around me or some of the energies and emotions that I feel. So this is a general reading for the month of December, Virgo. I'm just going to invite you to think about a personal question that might have not surfaced in the main spread, and we'll go ahead and pull a couple of cards for you in that just now. Be sure to check back in with this reading. You know, it's extraordinary how as the energies continue to unfold through the month, things will make more sense, or when you listen back, you'll hear different things as your mind sort of tunes to it. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and clarify this main reading now. So just asking what more we need to know about this Eight of Pentacles energy. Nine of Swords. Knight of Swords. Knight of Cups, okay. Both water and air energy showing up quite strongly in your reading for December. Another Queen of Swords coming through here. We'll talk about who I feel this is coming in. Six of Swords showing up here as well. All these swords are suggesting, oh, and another Judgment, that there's so much going on within your mind. You know, it's your thought forms, it's the intellect, logic and reason. How you think about what is happening is actually everything in some regards. Queen of Coins coming in with another Magician. Beautiful. Okay, so the energy of Judgment, Page of Cups, King of Wands, two there, so Four of Coins, Two of Swords. Okay, so what about this Eight of Swords, Ace of Swords? Yeah, what's going to set you free? The truth. Be sure to drop me a like and a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel if the reading resonates for you, Virgo. Okay, energy of strength coming through here. Hanged Man, beautiful. And another Knight of Coins. Okay, Virgo, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. If you would like to join me for the extended reading, you can find the link in the description and the comment section underneath. It's a way to support my channel. I will speak for another 20 minutes or so and give you additional messages as well as your personal question. Thank you so much if you've been supporting my channel throughout this year. I really hope it's helped you. I value you so much. I'm going to wish you beautiful blessings for the holiday season. I look forward to connecting with you for a brand new year's readings. You take good care.